Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something quite strategic for businesses, especially if you may be looking at Dubai.
That's right. We've been digging into some specific information from the Dubai Multi Commodities Centre, the DMCC.
Yeah, focusing on setting up, well, what they call special purpose vehicles, SPVs, and also holding companies, or holdcos, in their free zone.
Exactly. And the idea here is to give you, the listener, a sort of shortcut. The key things you need to grasp about these structures in the DMCC context.
Right, without getting bogged down. So what they are, the benefits for, say, managing assets or controlling businesses.
And how they might fit your own plans. It's all based on what the DMCC itself puts out there.
Okay, sounds good. Let's maybe unpack SPVs first. The DMCC info suggests they're really focused.
Very focused. They're designed for managing specific assets. Think real estate, maybe intellectual property.
And keeping those separate from your main business operations.
That's the core idea. The big benefit they highlight is risk reduction. It's like ring fencing.
Ring fencing. Explain that a bit.
Well, imagine you've got a valuable property, right? Put it in an SPV, and you create a kind of legal barrier around it.
Oh, okay. So it's separate from the financial ups and downs of the main company.
Precisely. If the core business faces issues, that specific asset inside the SPV has more protection.
That makes a lot of sense, like a safe deposit box for certain assets. And DMCC says this helps with transactions too.
Yeah, it makes them smoother. If you want to sell that specific asset, like the property.
You can just deal with the SPV without messing with the whole parent company structure.
Exactly. It streamlines things. But it's important to note DMCC is clear these SPVs aren't really for complex day-to-day trading activities.
Right. It's more about holding and managing specific things, giving you better control and security over those assets.
Spot on. A very targeted tool.
Okay, so that's SPVs. What about the other side of the coin, the holding companies, the holdcons? Within DMCC, what's their main job?
Well, if SPVs are about isolating assets, holdcos are kind of the opposite in a way. They're about bringing things together.
Bringing things together. How so?
Centralizing control over multiple different businesses. Imagine you run several companies. The holdco sits on top.
Okay, so one central entity overseeing various operating businesses.
Exactly. And DMCC presents this as a way to simplify governance across those different companies.
Makes sense. Instead of, 5 different boards making decisions in silos.
You have a more unified approach. They mention benefits like streamlined decision-making at that central level, more strategic alignment, potentially faster choices.
I could see how that would help, especially for larger groups.
Definitely. And linking back to risk, which we talked about with SPVs, holdcos can also help manage operational risks.
How does that work? By centralizing.
Well, by having separate operating companies under the holdco, you can actually isolate problems better. If one subsidiary has an issue, it's less likely to drag down the entire group.
Ah, I see. So separation below, but unified control above.
You got it. Leads to smoother overall operations, potentially stronger management. DMCC basically says this helps businesses grow and manage their different parts with more confidence.
Confidence and clarity, yeah.
Yeah.
Both sound really valuable.
Yeah.
Okay, setting these things up can sometimes feel complicated. Does the DMCC information touch on flexibility or costs?
It does. One interesting point is the flexibility in the actual legal structure you can choose.
Wow. Like what?
You can set them up as either a limited liability company, an LLC, or as a company limited by guarantee, a CLG.
Okay, LLC and CLG. What's the practical difference there, briefly?
Well, very basically, an LLC usually offers more protection for the owner's personal assets from the company's debts. CLGs are often used for, say, nonprofits, where members guarantee a certain amount.
So you can pick the structure that fits your model and maybe your risk appetite.
Exactly. Choice is good. And here's something that really stands out, I think.
What that?
No mandatory physical office requirement for these SPVs or holdcos in DMCC.
Really? That sounds like a huge plus.
Right.
Lower overheads, right?
Absolutely. Big potential cost savings, especially if you don't need boots on the ground there daily. It adds a lot of efficiency.
And does that tie into any other financial benefits? Taxes, maybe?
They do mention the potential for corporate tax advantages within the UAE framework that could make operating through DMCC even more cost-effective long-term.
Okay, so flexible structure, no mandatory office, potential tax benefits, but navigating the setup, is there help?
Yes, and they emphasize this. Professional help is available. They specifically list licensed registered agents.
Agents who know the ropes, basically. guide you through the process.
Exactly. Ensure compliance, smooth things out. They actually provide contact details for a few.
Oh, okay. Like who?
Well, there's NIDI Services, DMCC. They're in Almas Tower. The email is anand@nudaservices.com. Phone +971 50 They have a website too, nidaservices.com.
Okay, good to know. Who's else?
Timmy Consulting, DMCC. They're in Reef Tower, Cluster O. Email is set up at timmyconsulting.com. Phone +971 52 And their website is timmyconsulting.com.
All right, so resources are clearly signposted. Makes it less intimidating.
Definitely. Then there's Affinitas DMCC in Fortune Tower, Cluster C. Their email is partners@affinitasdmcc.com. They list a few phone numbers, +971 2903 is one. Website is affinitasdmcc.com.
Okay, keep going. Are there more?
Yes. EAUR DMCC in Platinum Tower, Cluster I. Email.daniel.dronsfield@irame.com. Phone +971 58 and the website irame.com.
It shows DMCC wants people to succeed with this, providing these contacts.
Seems that way. And finally, they list Panis & Shaw Associates DMCC, also in Almas Tower. Email.hitesh@panisshaw.com. Phone +971 52 Website panisshaw.com.
So plenty of options for expert guidance. That's reassuring.
Absolutely. And the DMCC also frames these structures as being built for the long haul, for stability and business continuity.
Right. Not just a quick setup, but something to support growth over time. And they mentioned a starting cost.
Yeah, starting from AED 3690 seems pretty accessible as an entry point, relatively speaking.
Okay, so stepping back a bit, what about DMCC itself? Beyond just these structures, what's the environment like?
Well, they position themselves not just as a free zone, but as a globally recognized business environment. They operate under their own DMCCA company regulation.
Part of a respected international framework. They use some strong language too, don't they?
They do. They call themselves the world's most dynamic business hub and district. It's bold.
But they back it up with numbers.
Yeah, impressive ones. Over 25,000 member companies.
Wow.
From over 180 countries and involved in more than 900 different types of business activities.
That paints a picture of real scale and diversity, a vibrant ecosystem.
Exactly. And they share some success stories, which kind of bring it to life.
Oh, yeah. Examples?
Well, Burjay Energy, for instance. They apparently hit a U.S. $100 million trade volume goal after setting up in DMCC. Shows growth potential.
That's significant. Any others?
ZE Goldie mentioned getting their trade license in just 48 hours. That speaks to efficiency.
Fast turnaround. Yes.
And Mercuria Energy Trading Middle East has been there since 2009, suggesting, a stable, supportive, long-term relationship is possible.
That longevity says something. What about different industries?
Good point. InterTradeLink DMCC, they're in the tea trade, highlighted the specific infrastructure DMCC offers for their industry.
So specialized support too.
Seems like it. Astrolabs in tech praised DMCC's sort of action-oriented approach getting things done.
Okay. Any familiar big names?
Deliveroo credited DMCC with instrumental support. AimCham Dubai appreciated ongoing help, especially during transitions. Damani, in commodities, valued DMCC understanding their specific sector.
Right, so it's not just one type of business thriving there.
Not at all. Augustus, a co-working space, benefited directly from DMCC's facilities. And even a luxury brand like Bvulgari.
Bvulgari. What do they say?
They highlighted location, flexibility, service quality, and even proximity to employees as key factors for the import efficiency and sales. It really shows a broad appeal.
That's quite a range of testimonials. It paints a compelling picture of the hub itself.
And they also touch on the lifestyle aspect, not just business.
Oh, how so?
Mentioning the Jumeirah Lakes Towers, JLT, and Uptown Dubai area's residential and commercial districts connected to DMCC, promoting that work-life balance idea.
Integrating business with living. Makes sense for attracting talent.
And for companies already there, they have this loyalty program, the DMCC Business Rewards.
Ah, perks for being part of the community.
Yeah, silver, gold, platinum tiers. You earn points on licensing, services, and get exclusive rewards. Encourages engagement.
Okay, quite a comprehensive offering. Let's try and synthesize this for the listener.
Sure. So the key takeaway on SPVs. They're your focus tool in DMCC for managing specific assets, isolating them, reducing risk.
Right. And holdcos.
Holdcos are for centralizing control over multiple businesses, streamlining your operations, simplifying governance from the top down.
And underpinning both are those DMCC advantages we discussed. The flexible setup options like LLC or CLG.
The potential cost savings from no mandatory physical office, possible tax benefits.
And that readily available professional support from the registered agents to navigate the process.
All happening within this environment DMCC promotes as a dynamic global business hub.
So for you listening, if you're grappling with how best to structure your business, maybe you have